How my thinking leads to eating. Let's break down the connection of the negative habits. All right, so I had a wonderful voicemail message left to me by a coaching client. She's like, for 5 decades, I have let my lower brain run the show when it comes to my eating. She says, I've listened to your videos and slowly but surely my mind is kind of wrapping around what's going on here. She said, I had left church, had a plan of eating chili when I got home. She says, but I started to feel a little hungry. So my lower brain chimed in, hey, let's go to Steak and Shake. And she says, this is what it always does. And she says, I turned to my husband for the first time in 5 decades. And I said, oh, that's my lower brain. It's trying to convince me not to go home and eat the chili that I had pre-laid out with my prefrontal cortex, my thinking brain, and to eat Steak and Shake. And she said out loud, no, lower brain, we're okay. We will go home and have the chili. Huge win for this coaching client. Huge win for someone who's going to be pushing 60-something years of age. The reason I'm sharing this with you is a couple reasons. One, she said where she got a lot of hope for herself was hearing that I still contend with my lower brain, that it doesn't go away. It actually gave her a sense of peace to realize she didn't have to unload this beast. She just each day had to kind of parent it, if you will. And it gave me an idea for this video, because what I want to explain to you is every day, I did this challenge a couple summers ago called the Red Brick Challenge, where every moment of every day, you have an opportunity to pick something to do towards your goals or away from your goals. What I want you to think about with your lower brain and your habit connection, okay, the habits that you have, it feels hunger, it says let's go to Steak and Shake, you give in. Every single day, you are either reinforcing the negative habit because you're listening to your lower brain and you're saying, okay, sure, let's go do that thing, or you're breaking the connection. And the reason this is super important, when I first started my journey, I did not have this terminology. I didn't have a way to explain what I knew to do verbally like I am now, but I knew it internally. I knew my lower brain, that really big driving voice of eat, 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 eat. It was a very strong voice. And when I started not giving into it and I started talking back, and I was talking back in my weight loss journey the whole time because I knew I needed to. But when I was talking back, when I first started, felt very emotional about this because I had always done the go to Steak and Shake, eat the chocolate, eat the ice cream to deal with my emotions. Now I was saying no to those things and it felt very emotional. There was days I was like, it literally took every ounce of my energy and being to say no. Now I do it like I'm talking to a child. Like, no, sweetheart, we're not going to do that. How did that evolve? How did it go from it being so hard, feeling so emotional, almost breaking me into tears at some points to say no, because I was letting go of my security blanket. I was letting go of my drug of choice to deal with my emotions, right? It evolves over time. So the more I break that connection and I say, no, sweetheart, we're not going to go to Steak and Shake today. We're going to have the chili. I am reinforcing the breaking of that habit loop, and I'm now putting in a new one. And over time, just like you fell into the habit loop of going to Steak and Shake, and it felt totally normal, felt totally comfortable, so does it become easier and more comfortable to say, no, sweetheart, we're going to go home and have the chili. But now I'm like, 16 years out in my journey? So I've repeated these things 10 plus years of, no, sweetheart, we're not going to have the half gallon of ice cream. No, sweetheart, we're not going to eat the entire box of cereal. Like, I have done this so many times that now it doesn't feel emotional. Now it doesn't feel as hard. And over time, your brain creates new habit loops. So this is important. It might feel like a Herculean effort today. It might feel like literally you're going to bust up into tears because you're saying no to the thing you've always said yes to and you've gone along with. But know this, the reward is that 10 years from now, it's not going to feel that hard. It's still going to show up. It's still going to speak its mind. It's still going to do its thing. And you get really good at saying, no, sweetheart, it's okay. We'll have ice cream later this week. We'll plan it in. No, sweetheart, we're not going to go do this. This is what we plan for meals. You get really almost detached from it because it just keeps showing up, right? But at first, it feels really difficult, especially if you've never done it before, if you've never said no to this lower brain voice, which ultimately brings something really pleasurable into your life. But it doesn't bring you long-term satisfaction because you're in a position that you're not happy with. So you always have a choice every moment of every day. Do I continue to reinforce the thought loop of I'm in discomfort, I'm feeling badly about X, Y, and Z? My lower brain shows up, it recommends that we eat this, and I say yes. I'm reinforcing that habit loop. I'm kicking the can down the road. If I want to break this habit loop, I'm kicking down the can down the road, and I'm going to deal with the hard later. Or today, you say no to it. You say no in a very loving way because it's trying to help you. It's not trying to harm you in any way. It's just showing up that way because you're probably at a weight that you're uncomfortable with and you have a habit loop that you're not happy with. So but it is trying to help you in the moment, right? So you say no to it. It feels hard. It feels like it took a really big effort for you to do that. But 5 years from now, it won't. 5 years, if you keep repeating, 2 years, 1 year, it gets better even in 6 months. Like it's going to get better. It's going to get easier, but you have to start doing it. And this is something I want to share. I mean, I've got clients in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they can do it. Anyone can do it. It's just you have to realize what you've been doing this whole time, know what you're listening for, and then make a plan how you're going to respond back, okay? And know that, yes, right now it's going to feel hard. It's going to feel like it's like a workout in your head. You're crushing the gym workout right upstairs. But what's really cool, over time, it's easier to maintain muscle than it is to grow muscle. Right now you're growing muscle. There's sometimes I feel like I'm still growing muscle, but for the most part I'm maintaining it, right? Because I've done this repetitiveness over and over and over again. So just want to encourage you, your goal, not to get rid of the voice, not to think it's ever going to stop. Your goal is to repeat a new habit loop, to start to break the old one, to make this process easier. So when you hear lower brain chatter, you don't just give into it. You know what it is. It's cute, it's innocent, it doesn't mean to hurt you. But no, we're not going to do that, right? And then that reinforced new behavior actually becomes easier over time. All right, guys, please like and subscribe. Please feel free to share the videos with other people, and I will talk to you soon.